Não sabia que você tinha consciência, Igor. Você é consciente.
Não ganha nada por isso.
A gente dorme com consciência.
Next out of design. But John Norman, designer of everyday things. Design is really an act of communication. It means having a deep understanding of the person whom the designer is communicating. So most designers don't design things for people, but rather for solutions for their own problems. Although a lot of design concepts are taken from everyday objects like kettles, microwaves, etc. A lot of these principles apply to user interfaces, transportation systems, and more. We need to understand what a bad design is in order to see the value of good design. What do you think of these designs right here?
Very
You,
disgusting.
you like these designs?
My head works like that.
This is for dog.
These are useful products.
Oh, that's for.
Harry Potter.
Would you wear those glasses? Yeah. Would you? What about this chair?
This is for baby.
For baby.
No, it's for baby. The fork?
Yeah.
That's good design?
Yes.
Okay.
What is it?
Ah,
Teapot.
it's a teapot.
Oh yeah.
Do you like it?
Pretty cool.
Really? Disappointed. No. Christmas is coming. I want to get you guys.
This is for
What
a
do you think of the
couple.
glasses? Would you use the glasses? Oh, useful?
I donate more across their arms, you know.
Ô, João.
Yeah. Would you purchase these as a gift?
No,
Yeah.
it's difficult to clean.
Difficult to clean. That's the problem. Yeah. The only problem. The watering
That one
can?
is great.
Yeah, that's right. You
That's
like
a plate shower.
É a mesma coisa que você mijar no seu mesmo, não faz sentido.
Você mijando em quem?
Mas você vai ficar se mijando, velho. Não faz sentido.
Show. Oh wow. Genius.
Oh, I have that one in work. Yeah.
It's a toothbrush.
It's for
For clean
toilets.
the wall.
Clean the wall. It actually could be used. What about the wine glass? Yeah.
Perfect, you don't spill it.
Yeah.
Oh,
You just lie and drink.
My nose too big. Hungry.
This is
Ô, Paulo,
good
sua colher aí, Paulo.
You appreciate this.
Não é de maromba. Olha, Lorena, isso não é maromba não.
Yes.
Ele acha que ele é maromba.
What would it be useful for?
To walk on the street in fingless.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that is good. The slipper spoon. What do you think of that?
What the
The
fuck?
pot. Good or bad?
It's horrible, you know.
Huh?
It's
heavy.
Aqui?
Oh, this is great.
That's great.
Yeah, you put it on like when you leave the house.
Yeah.
And then somebody comes.
How do you turn it? Okay, the mug. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. No problems at all. Okay, perfect. Yes.
This is for people who is on a diet.
Loose time. A snake fork. Yes or no?
Is that a snake?
I don't know. Good or bad? Yes. Gifts.
Oh, this is good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good or insane? Oh, you're all quiet there. The long mug for sharing. Here's how we
Isso
turn it.
aí é muito zoado.
Eu acho that.
Porra, esse é pica.
I'm come back around. Yes, you can see how useful that would be for 2 hot cups of coffee.
Moleque, nego não tem o que fazer.
Ah, what do you think of this? Concrete umbrella. Good or bad? Yes.
It's useful for wireless, yeah.
What's that?
An inflatable paddle.
Paddle.
Future, the people will be wondering what are we doing, you know?
Oh, hourglass, salt and pepper shakers. What do you think? Yes or no? Yes?
And
You have an hour.
I like that chair.
Yes.
Salt and pepper. Yeah, Anyway, I was trying to point out some bad design to you there, but you all love them. They're perfect. This concrete umbrella is fantastic. This really big.
Well, because the wind is not gonna broke them.
That's true, the wind is not going to break it. I wasn't prepared for your optimism. I was expecting you to see the world as I see it. But your experience,
You know what
you're
it's
using
back
it
to now.
for, yeah, you're like, what a safe umbrella.
And it's helping you to be strong.
Yeah, the weights, the games.
Exactly.
The games on the umbrella. Have you heard of Dieter Rams?
The what?
The what? Dieter Rams. The German name, Dieter. Dieter. He was an industrial designer for Braun for many years. He designed a lot of very iconic user interfaces that we still use today. Retired now. He introduced the world to functionalist design with the consumer products company Braun. So with functionalist design, every decision about the object, the shape, the texture, the cost, is made to maximize the object's capacity to fulfill its intended purpose. So nothing is left to chance. Around 50 years ago, he developed the 10 principles of good design, also known as the 10 commandments. The 10 commandments, like in the Bible. Have you heard of that book? Very popular, as you know. Yeah, very good book. Now, that's the only similarity to the 10 commandments. According to Dieter Rams, good design is innovative. So good design can't be derivative of another. So they're deriving from another, ripping another design off. And it must push our understanding of an object forward. So each iteration or version of the design must advance step by step. Everything you see has been designed with purpose. So there is a very minimalist design of a radio for phono combination from 1959. So no waste of space. Everything on here does something that is clear to communicate. Everything about the space of it is because of the technology of the time. Number 2, good design makes a product useful. So expanding beyond the function of our product, from which product is going to influence our identity, self-perceptions, and the psychological nature of things. We all have a favorite brand of something. You have headphones, you probably go back to the same brand again and again. What's your current brand of headphones? I'm on Anchor. The cheapest one. Well, the outlet, it doesn't matter the brand at all, or is there a good brand in the cheap category? What's the cheap good brand?
And I don't know.
I'm on Anchor. That's the good cheap brand.
Oh, yeah?
€55 headphones. Yeah. What do you got?
JBL.
JBL. There we go.
But the cheapest one.
Yeah. I agree.
Bring in my water.
But the brand
JBL is
good.
very good, but
Yeah.
Even the cheap one is good.
Yeah.
no.
Cheap one.
What is that brand?
There's no brand. So
No
cheap,
name.
there's no brand.
Apple.
Apple. That's cheap.
That's cheap.
Very cheap. It's depends for who is paying. For me, it was very cheap. So I saw it, you guys.
It depends how much money do you have.
You put it back on. Oh, well, what's cheap for me might be expensive for you.
Yeah. I mean, 300 for me was
It's your point of view.
like what expensive coffee.
Yeah, the way he said Apple speaks to my next point, how our possessions define our self-image, how good design allows you to create ripples beyond the product. Yeah, people can be quite proud of the brands they're holding on to. We all fall victim to it. I see somebody in a Jaguar, and I go, wow, that's a Jaguar, and I say that. You notice these things.
But sometimes it's good to pay a little bit more for more quality.
Yeah.
Quality matters.
Yeah, I'd say that with coffee makers, espresso makers, pay a bit more. spend extra money. Don't get a cheap one, it'll just burn out. Die. Same with coffee grinders. Yeah, anything tech.
College.
Yes, I agree. The next slide.
Let's change the dog. Let's change the dog.
No, we're talking about good design. It's one of the obvious told you. Good design is aesthetic, meaning visually attractive. Simplicity is attractive to the naked eye. Effective design should cut away the fat of an object until all that's left is its function. So designing for the design's sake isn't aesthetic. Meaning visually appealing. If you think about a pair of scissors, it's the ultimate piece of user interface design. Without any explanation, we know how to hold it and how to use it. That is an example of pure design. So the aesthetic, how it looks, shows you how it should be held and how it should be used. And another simple 1961 ratio design. Symmetry. And closure.
Where is the plug for the flash drive?
Yes. I mean, that's all it's missing, and I put it in my house. My little Bluetooth symbol on it. I'm like, yeah,
Classic.
I like it. Classic. There's your digital readout right there. It's great. Number 4. Good design makes a product understandable. So it makes the product self-explanatory. Again, a pair of scissors without any explanation or direction. You know how to hold it and how to use it. So simple objects can explain their purpose without an instructions manual. We look at the old Apple slide to unlock feature on the old iPhone. This basically used design and instruction to tell the user how to do a task. The shadow combined with the background and an arrow and a little grey box, telling us to slide to unlock. So it's rendered with an inner shadow to make it look like there's a depression. It looks like this button fits into this little groove and should slide over. It's informing the user of everything it needs to do to unlock. Nobody needs to tell anybody what to do to unlock. Unfortunately, now that our security requirements are much more complicated, we need fingerprints. Number 5, good design is unobtrusive. So products fulfilling a purpose are like tools. They're neither decorative objects nor works of art. They're designed, you're talking about the lighter. They're designed so they're both neutral and restrained. We want the user to be able to put their own identity and self-expression on top of it. You could consider the Swiss Army knife to be a little over-designed. Some of the tools in it are so small as to be useless. The scissors in it, if you ever tried to use it, are incredibly small. You could consider it over-designed. And there's another minimalist design for a lighter from Theodore for Braun in 1968. And I looked this up and I found it on eBay. It's actually the size of a can of Coke. It's huge. Huge lighter. Carrying a lot of gasoline in your pocket. Number 6, good design is honest. It does not make the product more innovative, powerful, or valuable than it really is. It does not attempt to manipulate the consumer with promises that cannot be kept. That goes into brand loyalty and trusting a brand. You'll trust a brand that is reliable. You won't trust a brand that promises features that it doesn't have. Tells you it has a battery life of 60 hours and then you really only get 8. You won't trust that brand in the future. So good design shows you exactly what the object does and nothing more. It doesn't imply features, quality, or longevity it can't deliver on. Number 7, good design is long-lasting. So it avoids being fashionable and therefore never appears antiquated. Unlike fashionable design, it lasts many years, even in today's throwaway society. So good design withstands trends, and this goes hand in hand with simplicity. If you keep your designs simple, they're likely to look good in any era. If you look at how IKEA designed a lot of their furniture, a lot of it's very simple, boxy, cubic structures. They don't go for a lot of detail or ornateness, but some of the designs can still look good decades later. And there's a design from 1962, which through minimalist standards, it's okay, I put that in my house right now. It's got a bit of a 60s look to it, but it's not overly detailed or ornate.
I'm trying to figure out what it is here. I know it's a chair probably, but my hand is different.
It's a chair.
Yeah, but I can't see the chair.
It could be a couch, it could be an armchair.
Fair enough.
Good design is thorough, down to the last detail. Nothing must be arbitrary or left to chance. Care and accuracy in the design process shows respect towards the user. So, preparing for every eventuality in the UI, everything the user will need to do. This classic 1987 calculator layout is the calculator layout. If you open your calculator app on your phone, you'll probably see that exact button layout.
People's competitive.
So, Ron are responsible for that button layout, and it's just been the standard ever since. Number 9, good design is environmentally friendly. Again, by designing things to be long lasting, not if you're dated or plastic, they won't be thrown out or recycled, they can last a long time. So design makes an important contribution to the preservation of the environment. It conserves resources and minimizes visible and physical pollution throughout the life cycle of the project. So, by being long lasting, we don't have to destroy it as much. We're getting more use out of the materials. It is better for the environment. We don't have to produce more products. And good design is as little design as possible. Less but better, because it concentrates on the essential aspects, so the products are not burdened with non-essentials. So keeping things simple. There, a classic speaker design. It could be the Instagram logo. It is actually from 1958. Again, slapped a Bluetooth logo on that, and I put it in my living room. It was fine. Timeless, you might say. So, applying those to web and app design, we want to make easy to interact with designs which the user enjoys. Things are simple and easy to understand. Our design should always show the user what its function is and make the user perceive the design capabilities to what they truly are. We want to design with a view to guide our users' interaction, guide them into making clickable buttons look like their function. Think about the positive and negative interactions. Green is positive or constructive, red is negative or destructive. And don't build unneeded elements in our designs. Don't build things that are purely for decoration. Always build things that have function, but always make things look aesthetically nice as well. Keep things simple and things aesthetically nice. To keep ourselves on the right page, we can implement a design language system, a set of rules or guidelines to follow when designing on mobile apps or Android. This could create a brand personality for our company. For example, Facebook like button is a signature interaction, and our website or app should have a visual consistency as you go through each page. Some classic do's and don'ts for UI development. Formatting content. We want to create content that fits the side of our screen. We definitely don't want things to be folded off the screen, so pay attention to content as you're folding it. An obvious one, but one to pay attention to. So this could be an example of a design language system you might implement. Touch controls, if we're designing for web, this kind of calendar would be perfectly fine because we'll have a mouse. We can click around in these tiny little spaces. On our mobile, that tappable area will be very small. It's probably better to use a swipe gesture so we can swipe up, swipe down on this area here. Also better and easier to control with our fingers. So this one for mobile, a bad choice. hit targets going hand in hand with designing for touch. We want to create our control elements, our tappable areas to be big enough to be tapped by a finger. So prototypes as you're developing should test them on your phone and make sure the tappable area is easy to hit with your finger. Don't design them too small. In this example, this gives a 44-point square tappable size. This is a good base to start with. They can be a little bit smaller than that. Not so small. Text size. Again, test your prototypes on a mobile device to check your text size is easy to read, legible and easy to read at a typical viewing distance without the user having to zoom in. Right here, a lot of text bunched up and close together. So pay attention to your line height, your letter spacing. And also, our color combos. Remember, not all text is gray. Not all text is black, I should say. Not gray. So line height, letter spacing, and color. It's 3 things easier just to separate that out. And also the font size itself. Don't make the font size too small. Just to maintain the readability of text. Contrast, of course, high contrast is better than low contrast. So black and white contrast against each other. These pale colors here of orange and green and gray are too close together in hue and contrast. Impact or separation. Spacing, I was already kind of talking about that. The text should never overlap and increase legibility, increase the line height of spacing. Yes, don't bunch it up too close together. Let things breathe. And resolution. The images that are in your application should be in high resolution and they appear blurry and zoomed in. So always, especially if your prototypes include high res, you don't want any kind of digital or pixelation occurring in the images you use. And distortion as well. Never allow your images to be squashed or stretched. But always keep them in their original aspect ratio. They're not crushed up. And organization. So when laying out your information, make it easy to read. Control elements should be close to the content that they modify. Here, we have coffee, grain size, and an edit button in the middle. Not sure what the edit is supposed to be for the coffee or the grain size because things are bunched up all in one level. Whereas here, we have an edit function up the top, and then we also have chevrons clearly in line with each respective object. And alignment. Align text, images, and buttons to show information is related. This goes into the Gestalt principles as well. So here we have the asterisk, and then the explanation is in between with the image. Kind of a confusing layout with paragraph, image, button, or call to action next. Whereas we could just lay it out a little bit more logically with our image, text wrapping around, asterisk explanation down below. And then our button as the final object. As logic, we wanted to read the article and then click to go to the next one. A short video on Apple's design philosophy. Let me know if you agree with what they're saying.
The ancient tools are beyond extraordinary. Some of the ancient tools are beyond extraordinarily beautiful. And I think there's a fabulous history and biography of tools being significant. And I think the majority of our manufactured environment is characterized by carelessness. You know, it's that everything that has been made, there's a biography to it, there's a story to it, and it exists really at the end of a whole bunch of decisions. And most of those decisions were driven by price and schedule. And we have genuinely tried to make products that don't stand testament to that sort of development process, or don't stand testament to those values. They stand testament to us desperately trying to make the very best product we can, because we know someone is going to sit down and stare at this screen, and he will sense. He won't be able to articulate it, but we hope that he will sense the care that went into it. And I do believe we're capable of discerning far more than we're capable of articulating. I remember we discovered this when the iPod started to actually sell in some sort of volume. And we'd been doing some fairly reckless things, like finishing the inside of the iPod. You know, that cost money and it cost time. And we did it just because we thought it was right, and we had a theory that people would sense that amount of care was invested in the object. But it was a theory. And when the iPod started to sell in large volumes, there was this tremendous encouragement, because it was this sense that actually people really do care. They really do, if they're given the choice. And sadly, we very often don't give people that choice. It's a choice based on price or availability. I mean, we won't make something unless we believe we can make it better. And we try. We try every time that we release something. We have to somehow believe that we can do it better. But what we refuse to do is to then launch something that's just different. And there's tremendous pressure to do that. But no, we want it to be better and to perform, to functionally be better, to have utility that surpassed, the previous product. And yet there's not one screw that we've made. We don't assemble off-the-shelf components. Everything we have made specifically for the job that we're trying to solve there. As designers, we are living, and we have to be comfortable living in the future where your gaze rests right out there, your preoccupation's there. And there's this strange tendency that you tend to dismiss sort of the now and history. And one of the things that's funny, the creative process of faith, and that's a word that comes up a lot when we're working, which is, of course, we're the product of having more experience, because we've been doing this for a long time. But because of how unpredictable, you can't take... Many of my colleagues in the organisation that I work in can apply this number of people for this amount of time and be fairly confident, fairly sure of the outcome will be. Except what we just don't know. And so, in that place of feeling really quite vulnerable, one of the things that I've just made really quite a shocking habit of is to pay very, very close attention to the history of how we actually managed to get through. And part of that is to make these declarations about, well, we were exactly here, and we thought that was it, and the sky was falling. And we're completely convinced in our own personal ineptitude. But it's just wonderful to be able to replay example and example of, actually, but by faith, we actually did end up all right. We did figure this out. And part of the human condition, I guess, is that we somehow forget the complete and utter terror and trauma that we go through every time.
Do you feel that care in an Apple product? Do you agree with what do you think they care about the
Apple users.
Apple users.
Do you rate the iPhone for an iPhone? Do you think it's a good product?
Yeah, it's a good product, yeah. I mean, you pay so much money, why not be a good product? You know?
And they make like
But could you get something,
like it's mouth change, you know, like it's not a huge one because.
about the same amount of money? Oh, sorry, for less money,
Yeah.
definitely could. But you're paying for the brand, you know?
True, yeah. Yeah, this goes back to identity.
I don't agree with that, man. They give us quality, you know.
Yeah, but you can get quality in other phones as well. It's less money.
Not as Apple give it to you, you know.
Yeah, I agree with Mar. I know there's other good, cheaper phones,
Yeah,
but you won't get the quality of an iPhone.
No, you can get loads of quality
Like
in a Samsung as well.
They use
Example for
Samsung,
for
the
phones that-
S24, it's a really good phone, the camera is great, it's a really good phone, but it still doesn't beat the new 16 Pro Max. It's not the same.
The new Samsung.
You pay more, you pay less, but you don't get the same. It's very, very good, it's amazing, but it's not the same.
I heard the Google Pixel 4.
Yeah,
Very good,
The difference
very good
between
camera.
Samsung, the
That
difference
could
between
be like the cheapest.
Samsung is pretty good. The camera from Samsung is
Yeah,
better
but
than iPhone.
the
Way
difference
better.
between them is
Oh,
more
I don't know
about the
that.
system.
Everyone always says the camera on iPhone is the best.
It's more about the system. The system from Apple is much
Who make the
better.
cameras from iPhone is Samsung.
Samsung's camera is good, but when you take a photo and post on Instagram, it's shit. So.
Yeah, but that's different. That's totally different. That's just because it's from the US.
The Google Pixel 9 camera is the highest pixels camera in all phones.
Yeah,
It's
that's
a
what I
Google
heard.
Pixel 9 phone.
Yeah.
But when you take a photo and you edit it, the iPhone is still better. Even the Google one is technically better because it has more pixels and everything.
Bullshit.
So,
Yeah.
Well, he's saying
I mean,
that,
I
but
know
he says that when he has an iPhone.
Apple.
You're the biggest hypocrite ever.
He's actually,
I have
He's the biggest hypocrite ever.
I never said it was no good. I just said you just pay for the status. That's it.
I think he's going the other way because he's saying like, hey, all phones are good. And he has an iPhone. Be a hypocrite.
No, I never said they're no good. I just said they're too expensive. You can get something better if you're in a dedicated situation about money, which was not my point.
Yeah.
Delicate
No,
situation.
Yeah, you know?
If you're poor.
Yeah.
I mean, you should ask Luan, he's the biggest dickhead Apple fan ever. But he is, he knows he is. But he knows he is.
Yeah, I'm saying that, but I'm getting a new iPhone next week.
no, like, for example, which phone's better than Apple?
No, but Luan, we have to agree, you kinda are.
There's one, but-
You're kinda a very, yeah. He knows it is, so I'm not being mean, he knows it is.
Why? Because like, for example, if you take for
Oh, yeah.
just one thing like cameras, another one thing better than iPhone, but everything combined in iPhone is
Cara, eu só não gosto de iPhone por causa do sistema operacional. O resto eu adoro muito bom. Mas eu odeio o sistema.
Eu já gosto do sistema, eu também gosto.
Cara, eu odeio o sistema, mas eu adoro a câmera design.
Mas pra quem é da área de TI igual a gente, pô, deixa no meu 6.
Não, olha, sabe?
It's the power of the numbers as well. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with my iPhone 18 and then the iPhone 9.
Ah, é. Essa água tá gostosa,
Acabou todo o investimento.
Essa água tá boa.
It's been like
Essa
Tá
garrafa
molhada?
boa.
not even
No.
6 months
No?
that I have this
Think about-
MacBook. I didn't even turn it on my
Faz anos. Tá
because
gostoso.
it's just I feel that it's just so easy.
Hoje
And
já.
that's my first time having
Mas,
it.
Curte a vereda?
todo respeito.
That's
Bom,
what
aí
I'm
tem
saying, like,
água
it's
na
not
sua
even because
casa,
I
não
do
vou
like
falar
Apple. It's actually my first time and it's
Viu?
my
E essa
first
garrafa
time.
também, essa garrafa é feita daquele material, é
I mean, like,
bronze.
I have a PC for like
Ouro, o
the
material da
games and
garrafa.
stuff, and then a MacBook just to bring
Ele
it
já
up.
limpa a água.
No,
MacBook is so good.
Parece
It's so
que-
old now,
Parece que o
it's
cara
like
tá
9 years
vendendo a
old.
garrafa, velho. Já é
Yeah,
da
but-
Mas a ideia é, você quer provar?
Deixa eu provar.
Homem branco pode usar pode beber nessa garrafa? Homem preto?
Vamos ver se
It
não.
all depends
Não sei, né?
on what you want. I would say that.
É do mesmo material que os canos aqui são feitos para não congelar, pô. Os canos aqui de água.
You guys, what are laptops
Ferro, não, tipo,
versus MacBook? Which would you prefer? Laptop or MacBook on this side?
Pior que é bem bom, mano. Não tem gosto, tem um pH muito bom.
Parece algo diferente, um monte diferente.
Yeah, I think for laptops, MacBook is the best.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a gamer laptop that has like authority for games and everything, but to do basic stuff, I don't think there's any laptop that.
No,
I think MacBook it's very practical. Like it's very easy to use. Like it's very easy to change from an Android to an Apple, but it's very hard to change from an Apple to an Android. It's very easy to adapt when you're going from like Android to Apple, but you take forever to adapt when you go from an Apple product to like Samsung or whatever.
For example, you use Face ID. I don't know.
I can use MacBook, but someone hands me an iPhone and I'm like, what is going up this the wrong thing?
And it's very nice about the whole system that you can use.
Eu já fui numa cachoeira, lá no meu amigo, e eu morei numa lugar que tava sendo guiado, sabe? Aí ele falou, não, com uma corrente vocês podem beber. Eu nunca fiquei tão doente na minha vida depois daquilo, né? Fiquei vomitando por 4 dias. Eu falei pra minha ex, eu falei isso pra minha namorada um dia, aí toda vez que eles passam corrente assim, ela fala, vai lá beber.
Laptops will
Mas não, eu tinha 14 anos. É melhor.
And what I think it's very nice the whole ecosystem that they create. Like if you have a whole line of Apple products, like you have an iPhone, an MacBook, Apple Watch, an iPad, and everything, and like the AirPods, the way they connect to each other and you just AirDrop everything, and like the way they connect to each other, just make the system like so much easier.
Yeah, nowadays all the brands are like same.
Yeah.
Apple was the first one.
But there's only one thing I don't like.
Go on, what is it?
Why 22?
Because you have to buy another.
Exactly.
Because that's aesthetics.
Exactly, I know what you mean, but
They used to have headphone jacks.
I know, right?
Why did they get rid of the headphone jack? I was like, well, because aesthetics.
That's literally the only thing that I'm just like.
You know those ugly ports all over the place. Yeah, you look at a PC laptop and it's like.
Or you can just buy an AirPod Max.
Ports all over the place.
No, I'm just saying that that's the only thing that I'm
That's
just
why
like.
they do it. You
That's
buy
the difference. PC's not afraid to be ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll put holes all over it. Who cares?
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's supposed
You
to be
need all your
functional.
game control.
It's supposed to be functional.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Apple goes like, it has to be minimalistic and
That's it.
I don't care if you're gonna spend another 500 euros just in app stores for it.
Yeah.
It has to be pretty.
Yeah. And they are.
Yeah, they are.
Like so thin as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, let's get a cup of coffee. Cup of tea, cup of coffee, and we'll come back.
Mano, os caras só ficam, não tem o que falar não. Igual o bagulho que eu te mostrei lá, o novo pequenininho.